The Vauxhall Mokka may not be the same kind of household name that its Astra and Corsa siblings are, but it's still a really important car for the brand. So, to keep it competitive in that hotly contested B-segment SUV market, Vauxhall has given it a few nips and tucks. Over the next few minutes, I'm going to tell you exactly what those involve and whether or not you should consider buying one. I'm Richard Ingram, and this is Auto Express. The changes on the outside aren't that substantial, but it does look subtly different. The Vauxhall Mokka now gets, well, a tweaked bumper for improved aero. The lights are a little bit different, and if we come around the side, there are some new aerodynamic wheels, especially for the EV. There's less chrome trim, so there's a black strip of trim running front to back. The GS model, that now gets a black roof, as well as the Ultimate, which is what we've got here. But apart from some new colours, that is pretty much it. It's subtle, but if you've got a keen eye and you know what you're looking for, it is noticeable. Now, in terms of specs, there are three to choose from. You've got Design, you've got GS, and you've got Ultimate like we've got here. And there are three powertrains as well. There's a standard petrol with 130 odd horsepower. There's a hybrid with 136 horsepower. That's an automatic, obviously. The petrol is just a manual. And then there's this, the EV. And all of the EVs now get the uprated powertrain from all the Stellantis products. So you get 156 horsepower, 154 brake horsepower, and a 54 kilowatt hour battery for up to 250 miles of range. In terms of changes inside, there's not an awful lot to report. Every version now gets a 10-inch central screen there with wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. You've got a digital instrument cluster, this steering wheel design, that's new. There's fewer physical buttons apparently, so that stack there of buttons has fewer buttons on it. You've still got the rotary climate controls, which we really like. Center stack, well, that's really not got a lot on it, just a gear lever, electronic handbrake, some drive modes. You've got some cup holders. The materials inside, apparently there are more recycled materials in here than before, so that's a nod to the sustainability factor. But our biggest complaint actually is with this dark headliner, which you get in the GS and the Ultimate versions. It makes it feel really dark in here. It's supposed to be sporty, but to be honest, we just prefer something a little bit lighter. Did you know you can now sell your car through Auto Express with years, decades of trusted reviews and expert advice behind us? We know what makes your car valuable. So if you're interested in a new Vauxhall Mokka and you want a valuation for your current car, then click the link in the description below. You never know, it might surprise you. No changes back here. This is still a B segment SUV, so it still feels a little bit compromised in the rear seats. I'm just over 6 foot tall. I've actually got enough headroom, but legroom, that is compromised. Again, that dark headlining back here might make even children feel a little bit hemmed in, but on short journeys, I reckon you're absolutely fine. Just a quick one on boot space then. Now, one thing actually, before I open it, you kind of expect to be able to open the boot from there. You can get your fingers under, but there's no release. Actually, it's under there above the number plate. But open it up, you've got 350 litres to play with. You can actually store this cable on the electric version under the boot floor. Not sure why it's not on that one, but you can fold down the seats, open up a little bit more space. Bulky parcel shelf though, so you will have to find somewhere to store that. Now, the one thing that I have left until last is what this car is like to drive, and that's basically because, well, it hasn't changed an awful lot. There's still the same engines, the same powertrains, and no particular changes to the chassis or the suspension, so it's still a reasonable enough car to drive. It's not particularly fast, not particularly fun, but it's quiet, it's refined, it's everything you expect it to be, and it's great around town. So the updated Vauxhall Mokka, it's not particularly interesting, innovative, or out of the ordinary on its own, but add together all of those changes and it's definitely a better car than it was before. Factor in decent pricing, so you can have a petrol one for 23 and a bit grand, an EV for under 28, and well, it's better value than a Ford Puma Gen E and plenty of those B segment electric SUVs, and it could cost you absolutely pennies to run. So pick the right one, and this is definitely a B segment SUV worth considering.